Hello, I'm Angela.
And I'm Marie, the second half of this mother and daughter team.
Welcome to Chakra Checkups.
We're here to guide you on your quest for spiritual knowledge and enlightenment.
We're back here again with another episode. Your favorite podcast channel, Chakra Checkups. Marie and Angela here for another episode. Okay, I can't top that. Okay. So I've got some questions.
Okay.
Because I'm a firm believer that everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. Like negative experiences you learn from and you can make it brings you to where you are today, which in my case has continuously been better and better. So, how much of this is fate versus chance versus coincidence?
Well, I don't think I can give you percentages.
Yeah, I want facts. I want facts.
And I don't know, some of the sayings from my youth, and some of them are still out there,
Like what?
like if you're good to people, they'll be good to you. That isn't necessarily true. It all's going to work out for the best. For some times that doesn't happen for people either. Those things kind of do put a little bit of a positive ring on maybe a really bad situation, but I think in some ways, looking at that in that way can be a little bit depressive if you're in a storm of one bad thing after another,
Okay.
because it's like it's working for other people and it's not working for you. It's like the Donna Reed thing, there was this perfectly happy family, and then my family's not like that.
Okay.
But I do think that what you think and believe is going to influence what happens to you. And I do think that there is some things that are set up for an opportunity for you,
Mm.
which you might call fate
Okay.
or a meeting. I know for sure that there are people that marry their partners from the past. And also sometimes you have a family unit that is going round and round. First, you were my mother, now you're my daughter, then you were my father, then I was your sister, and they'll do this for generations.
Mm-hmm.
And seldom do they, move out of that circle. Other people don't do that. But
Do you think those are the families that get along better together or not necessarily?
I think generally they are families that get along better together.
Mm-hmm.
They've adapted to each other over a long period of time. I think that it isn't so much fate sometimes that will bring a couple together. I think that sometimes they have a strong desire to be with each other again, even if they were best friends or brothers or something of that nature. And their energy pulls that other person to them.
Mm-hmm.
Their strong desire that may not even be conscious will be pulling them in a way that, one of you is in New York and the other's in Texas, and suddenly you decide, I'm going to go to New York.
Well, I'm still waiting for my universal pull to show up.
Well, and sometimes, they're not born yet or whatever, but still, I think that there is that.
Yeah, which I would kind of put in the category of fate if you are desiring to be with one so much on both ends that you get pulled back together.
Well, if, you say,
Kind of like destined to
I
be together.
promise I'm going to come and find you again, and then you tell the angels, look, this is, when you're not in an incarnation, you do have conversations with your angels. I remember some of mine where you're discussing what you're going to do and how it's going to affect you.
What do you remember discussing with your angels?
Well, one of the big ones was discussing the fact that I would be working with a lot of people that were killed in the Holocaust
Mm.
and helping them to get better. The interesting thing with that is that when they told me that, I had already been working with quite a few people, from time to time I thought it's interesting. Why am I particularly keep attracting of people that had been in the Holocaust,
Mm-hmm.
because I had not been in the Holocaust.
Right.
But in a past life, I'm sure of it because I know where I was. I was in Japan. I was on the other side in a way. Um, but it's interesting when they told me that. I was like, oh, that's okay. That's why I keep seeing these people
Mm-hmm.
and trying to help them. So there's some things that are set up, and it's intricate. It's an intricate puzzle that is being put together for us to live through.
Mm-hmm.
There's some things I think that you have great opportunity, but you have to make it happen.
Okay.
Well, I talked to someone just a couple days ago, and they were saying, I have been meditating, I have been waiting, I've been trying to listen, opening to my intuitions, and waiting for the angels to tell me what am I supposed to be doing with my life? What am I, where am I supposed to be? What job am I supposed to have?
Mm-hmm.
And I said to him, well, that won't work at all
Why not?
because we have free will. So you can meditate for 1,000 years, and the angels are not going to tell you you need to get out of your cave and go get a job.
Okay.
You have to choose yourself what you're going to do with what's in front of you. So there's a way that this can really work for you, and there's a way it can really work against you. If you're waiting for some great inspiration to come from your angels, unless you've said, here's my goal. One way you could do it would be this. Okay, here's my goal. My goal is to be an enlightened person and to help thousands of people. Okay, that could be your goal.
And that's open enough that they could kind of show you how to make that happen.
No, no, no,
Okay.
no, they can't do that. But you can then say to your angels, okay, here's my ultimate goal. This is what I want to do. And I think the next step to reaching that goal would be, go to Tibet and meet a teacher.
Okay.
Okay. So I need to find a job to get the money to go to Tibet to see a teacher to get enlightened, like that.
Okay.
Now, these are your plans. You've made these plans, and that's okay. So you tell the angels, so help me to attract to myself the job, step one, that is going to help me to realize my ultimate goal.
Okay.
And and then lay it out. I think I'm going to need 4,000 a month so I can save 1,000 and still live.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to need a cheaper place to live than I'm doing now. And, and I'm going to need to meet somebody that can tell me about Tibet. You make up in your mind, try to clarify every detail of everything you need.
Mm-hmm.
And you ask your angels to please help you find these people, you know, meet up with them, connect with them, get the information, find the job.
Okay.
And then that can work out. When I was doing readings, I needed more money, and I took the seminar thinking it would help me get some inspiration to help me figure out what kind of job I wanted to do next. And I've talked a little bit about this. Their food was awful in the seminar. I felt like I really should write them a letter. I don't normally write a letter and complain about bad food,
Mm-hmm.
but I did. They came back and said, we have a job for you.
Yeah.
And I wound up making between $1,000 and $1,500 more a month than I had before.
From complaining about
From
bad food.
complaining, but first feeling I should go to the seminar, second I should follow through with the complaint. But in the back of my mind too, I was saying to the angels, I really need more income.
Mm-hmm.
So it worked out really cool because I not only got to be in these seminars and listen to them while I was making salad and stuff in the kitchen, but I got paid pretty good wage for it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an example of how the angels can help you to put it together. And sometimes it's really magical the way they do orchestrate this stuff.
Uh-huh.
But you have to have the underlying goal. You have to have a life goal, determine where you're going. Because if you can't tell your angels where you're going or tell yourself where you're going, how are you going to get there?
Well, we want our angels to show us the way.
But they don't do that
Okay.
because they can't subvert your will.
Uh-huh.
They can't tell you should do this.
So, in that sense, do we not have a predestined, like, fate or grand plan for ourselves, do you think?
I think we do have a grand plan. I think to some degree we agree to it. We discuss it with the angels and we agree to it. You're going to come, you're going to do this, you're going to meet this person. But along the way, we can make decisions, and it's really up to us when it's starting to play out what you choose and what you don't choose.
Okay. So how do we find out what we're meant to be doing?
Well, it isn't so much what you're meant to be doing whatever you choose as your life path or your life goal.
Okay.
I think that's the big mistake people they think, okay, if I'm just a good person, somebody's going to lay out a map for me.
Uh-huh.
And that's not how it works. And people that are very successful and spiritual, they didn't wait for an angel to show up and say, go get a doctorate in business. They chose something, they went after it, and the angels supported them along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Once you've chosen a path, then the angels can give you help along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was in Brazil, was going to drive to this distant city. The driver went to Bashini and said, we're going to, our goal is to go to Mauá. Do we go on the North Road? Do we go on the South Road? Okay, and then she said, definitely take the North Road. I don't know if we would have crashed on the South Road or it would have been slower traffic or whatever, but once you have a clear vision where you want to go and how you're going to get there, then you can get help along the way. Things that'll make you safer, or you get intuitions about, this is not a good day to go have that interview, or
Mm-hmm.
this is a good day to go have that interview. You can get a lot of information that can help you. But the angels are not going to show up and say, no, 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 no. Business is the wrong thing. You should become a chiropractor. They're not going to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess then it's just like it's hard to figure out like what we're all doing here and, what our master plan is.
Well, I don't know if there's there is one giant master plan. This is a place of free will.
Uh-huh.
Okay. When you're on the astral, they've talked about there's different places, causal plane, different planes. I don't really see it that way, but one thing I do see and I'm very aware of is you can't just go anywhere on the astral
Okay.
because your vibration kind of it sets a kind of band of energy around you and you can't move too much out of that. So if you're a person of very high enlightenment, you're not going to be able to be in the presence of people that are covered in demons.
Okay.
If you're a person that's covered in demons, you're not going to be able to be in the presence of somebody that's enlightened. It's kind of a natural division of vibration.
Just an energetic frequency.
And yes, an energetic frequency that you have, and within a certain range, that's where you can go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here on Earth, you can go anywhere. It's completely free will. You can go anywhere and you can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
You can go postal and kill people. You can become a ballerina dancer. You can fly to the moon. You literally have the choice every day to do whatever you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times I'll hear people say, I have no choice, but actually, you do have choices. Sometimes you don't like any of the
Right. I
choices.
think a lot of times when they say that, they don't like the consequences of making different choices.
Right. And they don't like the choices that seem available to them.
Right.
I have $500 a month. Where can I live? I'm not going to like any of those places.
Well, and I know a lot of people that just don't like where they're living but can't leave because they don't want to be far from their family.
And that's their choice.
Right.
So that's one of the things that we can find out is that we make choices and sometimes we don't like our choices. And we trap ourselves by our very choices. And I'm not saying that to just throw caution to the wind and walk out. It's hard to be responsible and be kind and loving and sometimes not make hard choices.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things we learn. We're learning healing, compassion, love. And you also get to experience if you were to hit someone or hurt somebody or curse somebody, you get to experience what that does for you also.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the biggest differences between here and the astral. Here it's physical and it takes time. So you set something into motion and the result can be years later. You can rob a bank when you're 19 and years later you're trying to get the job of your dreams and no one will hire you.
Yeah.
On the astral, everything is very quick. You can change your mind and you'll change your circumstances almost in a flash. So we're in the realm of the slow, somewhat tedious energetics of being very physical.
Mm-hmm.
And there isn't necessarily a better or worse plan
Like for our lives, you mean?
for our lives. Yeah, some people think the ultimate thing is to be taking care of the earth. I wouldn't disagree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Other people are the ultimate thing is dressage, teaching your horse how to walk backwards.
Right.
No, I mean, there's the very different things. Some people want to climb to Everest. Some people want to go clean up Everest.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's you can choose whatever you want to choose. The important thing is to actually choose.
Do you think there's a big difference in the people that are just not making a choice? They're the ones that are more complacent and unhappy with their lives, or I mean, ultimately that's kind of a choice as well.
It is. It just they're not consciously choosing.
Uh-huh.
If I choose not to bathe and not to get a job and not to graduate from high school, then I might be living on the street.
Uh-huh.
All of those were choices. I helped a woman one time try to find lodging. Actually, we did manage to find her lodging, but she had been arrested and jailed for meth 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was trying to find a place to rent, and nobody would rent to her.
Mm-hmm.
And we finally found a way to have her have a home, but it was complicated
Right.
because of all her other choices. She was living with the circumstances. To some degree, that's your karma in a way.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to limit your choices based on the choices you made.
So where does luck come into play with this? Because I had a roommate when I was living in San Francisco, and there was like four of us living in the house, and we'd all agreed this one person was causing all of us problems, and we asked her to leave. She was nasty enough to just deny leaving, and then, then didn't partake in any of the house chores and tried to make our lives a living hell. The way that she got out of being in the house was that she bought a scratch off ticket and won $15,000. So then she had enough money to move out.
Well, we don't know what's going on in her mind, but maybe she was thinking, boy, the minute I have $15,000, I'm out of here. And I hope that happens super fast.
And the rest of us thinking, God, I wish she had enough money to leave.
Right. And so it worked.
Right.
I mean,
But do you think that's like just, straight luck? Like,
I don't think it's straight luck. I think that there's millions of thoughts, and like thoughts connect to like thoughts and attract things to them.
mm-hmm.
So in your case, you're all wanting her out. She probably wanted to get out. She probably needed enough money to get out. know. And it's possible that an angel like helped of that a little bit too,
Uh-huh.
you know. So it's just like this whole thought form, it's kind of a group plan, and the group plan was this girl needs to go someplace else. And that worked out. And it's possible that at that time you were spending more energy thinking about that than almost anything else.
Mm-hmm.
People that go from zero to billions, I actually dated someone that did that, went from zero money on his own and became a billionaire. They are thinking, planning, deciding, choosing, drawing out plans, doing everything all the time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, they want to meet their perfect mate, they want to have the perfect life, but they don't actually, other than want that, they don't make an actual plan. Now, if you wanted to marry a circus performer, then a good plan might be to go to every circus in North America that you can afford to go to, you know,
Or just hang out outside and
see what's in the film, you know, have some sort of plan.
uh-huh.
And there have been people that said, I'm gonna, I want to meet someone in the next 7 days, but then, and they do something like that and it works.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're just waiting for the perfect partner to come to you somehow and you're not projecting that in a way, then it makes it difficult for that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes back to, in terms of finding your life path, see it, say it, do it. So say you want to be enlightened and you want to be a healer, but right now you have, no jobs, no skill or not much skill and no clientele. So what do you do? Okay, then you take the very next job that comes to you. You go around, you tell people you want a job, you talk to people, you look at ads, and what you next get hired at, take that.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a good chance that your angels are working on your side, and that's going to lead you to the other next thing.
Okay.
So, like, my catering wasn't exactly in my game plan,
But it was exactly what you had asked for.
well, I asked for more money,
Yeah.
something that I could work into the schedule with my farming and everything else, and it worked, it worked, and I had the skills to do it.
Right.
You can't say I want to be an astronaut if you haven't trained to be an astronaut.
Right.
I mean, you can say you want to be an astronaut, but then first you should probably, I don't know, probably have to go to become Navy officer or something. Or I don't know what the
I mean, a lot of people want to be an astronaut, but very few people have the capability of doing it.
That's true. So, but it's possible that if someone, it's like you start early and you're building the thought forms and you're doing what it takes to get there, everything you know to get there, then you will get there.
Uh-huh.
It takes action. It takes discipline. People say they want to be like me. Well, I've been meditating and practicing since I was 13 and learning things, and then, oh, well, let's try the next thing. I've been actively working on being a good healer and a good psychic and accurate, you know, uh, medical intuit for years and years and years.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that when I'm teaching people, I can greatly accelerate that. I hope that some of the things I learned, then they can accelerate that. But they still need to go out and do something.
Mm-hmm.
We are like Madonna, material girl in a material world.
Mm-hmm.
So it isn't just waiting for something to float down from someplace and land on your lap.
But I feel like some people it does do that. I think we all know someone or like, wow, that person is just incredibly lucky. Money does rain down from the sky for them.
Well, and it's true. Some people, they have much better circumstances. When I look at chakras,
And maybe not even just like their circumstances, but just their general luck. Oh, look, I found $20 on the ground today. Like, or whatever it may be, like stuff like that just enters their life. And I don't know. I know some people look at that and be like, wow, like that stuff never happens to me.
Well, it's not so much that I would call it karma, but when I look at people's chakras, they're vary quite a bit. Some people have 11 or 12 places in their 7 chakras that are black or dark blue or dark red. And oftentimes when I see that, it's from a past life. So they had a history of things not going well, or maybe not behaving well, or maybe a little bit of both. And so they come in to this life with those limitations, with that energy. Just like I was talking about on the astral, we're limited by the band of energy that we have.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to attract to you in the next life. It goes two ways. Sometimes the angels will take somebody that has tremendous light and they'll put them in a dark family to lighten it up. And it's something you agree to. I'm going to come to this family, I'm going to come to these circumstances, and I'm going to make it better. And I know it's going to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
That happens. And that's because you agreed to a life of service, which will make your chakra system all more sparkly, and you probably the next life you'll have a really good rest, what I call a resting life, a kind of a vacation life where everything is going really well.
Okay.
Other times, sold meth for 2 lifetimes, and then you wind up in a situation where you're taking meth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a way of you learning and going, okay, oh, that really does suck. I don't think I ever want to sell that again. I don't think I'll ever choose that again.
Mm-hmm.
So you wind up in really tough circumstances and you can be a really nice person and it's hard to get away from it. But I have seen with people that really made an effort to change their vibration, to do meditation, to be positive, to stop being angry, and to move forward, they actually do get ahead.
Mm-hmm. And then they become more lucky as a result of that.
They might. They might. It's possible. I mean, everything is changing for the better, so there's no reason to assume you would not be lucky.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that has to do again with your choice. People say, I'm never lucky. Other people always lucky. I'm never lucky. Other people think, I'm always winning stuff.
I used to win a lot of stuff when I was a kid, and now I don't seem to win anything I sign up for anymore. Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
My vibration is lower than when I was a child.
Well, I think a lot of people still slow than when they were a child, but I don't think in your case that's the. It may be at just some point you made a decision. Maybe, maybe you need to sit down and meditate on that and see what would bring back your luck.
How would I go about talking to my angels and meditating about this?
Start to build the idea of prosperity and luck is part of your life. I have great prosperity and, I'm incredibly lucky.
I'm incredibly lucky. I'm gonna win every vacation sweepstakes that I sign up for.
There you go.
What a life that would be.
Well, I think I mentioned it in another podcast, but I did that thing. My mom wanted to go into that Seven Feathers casino in Oregon, and as we were driving there talking about this, I said to her, I don't think that luck is a concept. I think it's an angel.
Ah, like one specific angel.
Right. And I said, I think maybe that's why people say Lady Luck, because it's an angel. So let's do this. I said, let's do this.
So I'm just praying to the wrong angel.
Well, the praying asking is better. I said, why don't we say, okay, if Lady Luck is an angel, come on, angel. And I don't have this picture in my mind at the time. Rain golden dollars down on us.
Uh-huh.
Come on, just sparkle us up with golden dollars. And then we went in and I took a $20 bill and it was a $1 machine and I made a max bet of $4,
Uh-huh.
and it just went ding, 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 $4,000. And while they were waiting to get my $4,000, because you have to wait, they have to fill out papers, look at your ID, all that stuff. I went to the machine next to it and $900.
Nice.
You know, so
So they're like, you're breaking all of our machines. Get out of our casino.
no. But the thing is, maybe there's some of that is literally saying to your angels, I'm always saying, ask your angels for everything.
Yeah.
Decide what you really, really want and ask your angels for everything. See it. I pictured the dollars falling down on
Yeah.
this. Say it. Let's go in there and, win something.
Uh-huh.
And then do it. We've got to put the $20. Some people say I never win anything, but they never have ever tried to win anything.
Uh-huh.
And you have to do that too. Do it. Okay. So you want to meet your perfect person. See it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a man or a woman or some variation? See it. See it. How tall? What ethnic group? From what part of the world? Where are we going to live? As much detail as you can. A person has to know how to swim.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you can think of.
Mm-hmm.
And then you say to your angels, okay, this is who I want to meet. Now, if I'm not in the right place to meet this person, then help me to find out where I need to be to meet them.
Mm-hmm.
Show me in a dream or tell me where I would have to be in order to meet this person. Now, angels can do that. You're asking them to answer a question.
Okay.
You're not
They're
asking,
not telling you.
you're
You're
not saying you better go to New York and go to this expo.
Uh-huh. They're just showing you a possibility.
But if you say, I need to know where to go, then they might you might be dreaming about going to the expo in New York.
Uh-huh.
There was that one lady I think I have talked to about in another podcast, but she was a little bit crazy from my point of view, but she said, "Oh, I'm going to the country fair in Eugene. I don't have any money and I don't have any gas in my car, but I know my angels are going to help me out."
Yeah.
So she left with no food. She left her kids with somebody, no food, no money, no gas, and headed off to, the 250-mile drive to Eugene. And when she got back, I said, "How'd that go?" She said, "Oh, it was perfect. I ran out of gas on a bridge, so everybody was really interested in getting me gas, so they collectively filled up my tank. It was enough to get me to Eugene. And I got there. I didn't have any tickets for the country fair, but there were some people that, had some extra. So I got an extra ticket. I met somebody who put me up for the night and they made some organic food. I mean, it all worked out. Now, for me, I would go crazy in those circumstances.
Yeah. I mean, that's a little bit leaving everything up into the air.
But it consistently worked out for her.
Mm-hmm.
It was chaotic for everybody around her, and everybody around her was having anxiety, but she was pretty happy.
Yeah. Takes all the planning out. It'll just work out. I'll just go.
Yeah, really. And there have been people that have done that, and sometimes the circumstances aren't that pleasant, and so there's that. But it's a choice. So you see it. I'm going to Eugene. You say it. Don't worry, I know my angels will take care of me. I'll have everything I need.
Mm-hmm.
And then you set out.
So really, fate, chance, and free will, all is the power of manifestation.
Well, I think to some degree they're in a giant knot and you're trying to untangle it.
Huh.
It's not always very clear.
Like a Celtic knot, it goes in, like infinity knot.
I was in Hawaii, 18 years old, and I was trying to find a way to make a living. And at that time, wages were $1.65 an hour. So that wasn't a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Even then, that wasn't a lot of money. And I kept saying, boy, I really need something to do that I can make money. And then I had that dream and remembered my lifetime as a jeweler. And the next day, I went to somebody's shop picked up a torch and he said, "You're good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make jewelry together." It worked out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to do that for a living for 27 years.
So if we're feeling lost, this is what I'm hearing. If we're feeling lost and we don't know what to do and we don't know what we want our life plan to be, we could just ask for skills to send you on your way.
well, you can look at what you need
Uh-huh.
and say, I really need this and I really need to solve this. And it's very possible that, yes, something will come your way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's possible someone will meet you on the street and say, I, I'm short a worker and I have a training program. It won't cost you anything. Do you want to come to my company?
Mm-hmm.
I'm creating a company to take people diving on the rarest spots in the earth. Do you want to train for that for a month and go do that?
Yes, please.
I know. So there's billions of people out there, and there's billions of possibilities, and there's billions of opportunities.
Uh-huh.
I've had people that say to me, "I'm just so broke. I really, really need money." And I'll say, "Do you want to get a job?" "Oh, no, I don't want a job."
Uh-huh.
But no other plan.
Right. So how is this supposed to happen?
But it's possible that if you had a job, even something that is not your first pick, that another job will come along.
Mm-hmm.
When I did that one first catering job, I realized that there are a whole bunch of people that they go from one seminar to another and they said, "This food is fabulous. I'm going to tell those people
Mm-hmm.
that you should cater to them." And pretty much I had all the catering jobs for the next few years that I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that worked out, really well. And it was fun because I was sitting there listening to various different seminars, which I would not be able to afford to go to. So there is opportunity out there. There's endless opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a matter of you taking advantage of that. And, you can say to your angels, "Make me lucky, if nothing else."
Mm-hmm.
Some people say, "I just want to win the lottery," but they actually don't travel to where there are lottery tickets and buy one.
Right.
But it's also wise to be a little bit practical. There's probably millions of people that want to win the lottery
Yeah.
in every lottery.
Yeah.
And they all have thought forms and they're all working at it too. And the one that it works out for is probably the one with the best combination of everything going for them.
What do you mean? Like explain?
Prosperity in their third chakra, no black in their third chakra, positive thinking about it, probably could see it visually, see it happen,
Mm-hmm.
all of that. It isn't just, okay, I say I want it and I'm going to get it, and all the other people that say they want it, they're not going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality
The one
is
with the strongest thought form and clearest energy.
probably, for some reason, they've either done a lot of good works and, they've asked for something and the angels kind of help make it happen. If there's one thing the one thing that's missing, I think, for most people is, first of all, action. Take action. Don't be static.
Because a lot of people are just waiting for a change to happen.
Yeah. And you're going to wait a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the change is probably that you're going to get weaker and weaker and more depressed,
Mm-hmm.
because that's not the way things work. Successful people are usually industrious people.
Mm-hmm.
Successful people exercise every day, they meditate, they visualize.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the way things work and then you model yourself after that model, things are going to work out for you. If the truth was that anybody that was a good person would be prosperous, the distribution of money on this planet would be very different than it is right now.
Yeah.
So we look at the reality of where we are, what we want to accomplish, and move towards that. When I said I just wanted to go public and you said you do the site, First we saw what we wanted to do.
Is that how that happened? I thought it went the other way around. Hey, Mom, you should go public again.
Okay. But at any rate, I didn't really think that there was much of a possibility of anybody ever coming to our site.
Well, see, and that's where I knew that you were wrong.
Well, okay, see, there you have it. And we've had no problem. We have what are they, 340 people a week or something like that visit our site.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was looking at that the other day. So, it can happen.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to get the word out, and then my friend invited me to do a podcast. I had never heard of a podcast, so that gave us this idea of doing these podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
So you do your best to wake up, look at your plan. That's why some people make a big wall thing, with the pictures of this is going to be their house and this is going to be their business, and they write themselves a check for $1 million or $100,000 and put a date on it,
Mm-hmm.
and say, I'm going to be working, and I'm going to be working in the ceramics industry or the modeling industry, or I'm going to be a, a psychic that's on TV with Oprah. Whatever is in your consciousness, if it's in your consciousness and you can see it in your mind,
Mm-hmm.
I believe that you can have it.
So what does Marie see in your mind?
Mine's very simple. I want to change consciousness in this world.
How's it gonna happen?
It's going to happen by one person at a time that has light, choosing to expand that light. I actually strongly believe that there is a certain point in which consciousness will change enough that people will not think that beating other people up or raping people or shooting people is acceptable behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And even the people that are not enlightened will begin to say, this is just not acceptable behavior, and the consciousness will change, and that will go out of our society.
Well,
Stop happening.
It's a very nice thought to have.
That's my goal.
Yeah.
I want to change consciousness. So what I do working towards that is I do podcasts, and I meditate, and I teach meditation, and I try to see light, expand light, be more light, and teach people how to do that.
Mm-hmm. Which also includes upcoming in-person workshops, online workshops,
Yes, we're going to be doing some workshops online because I want to reach more people.
online classes.
Online classes, yes.
And yeah, stay tuned for all of those online good things. Sign up for the newsletter. No, but if you did want to be part of one of the classes that we will be having, a good way to find out when that will be happening would be signing up for the newsletter. Go to chakracheckups.com.
Okay.
Put your email in.
So, I talk I talk often about that time I materialized $2, two $1 bills. So what did I do? I wanted to have some lunch. Myself and my friend Pam wanted to eat something. We were really out of money and we were eating so little. We were eating carrots and top ramen, and that was it. It was the cheapest things we could buy, and we were running out of money. So I decided we wanted to have lunch. I saw this opportunity. There was a sign, $2 lunch, and I literally stomped my foot and said, we are going to go have that lunch. And the $2 appeared.
They rained down from the sky.
They rained down from the sky. This little whirlwind whipped around, and out in the middle of it, $2 fell.
Literally, you're making money rain from the sky. The only thing you could think about is $2 to have lunch.
That was.
I think you need to expand your
In that moment, that was perfect.
you need to expand your consciousness.
Well,
On being,
that is your judgment. Your judgment. In that moment, I wanted $2.
Well, at least it worked.
And we had lunch.
Yeah.
But that's exactly, you know what you want, you see it, you say it, And then
And then it happens.
it can happen.
Mm-hmm.
See it, say it, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Stomp your foot and say, I want $2.
I think I want more than $2.
I had a friend that she said, if you want money, just do a money dance. You want money, just sing it, make up a song. I'm in the money. Come on, honey. Rain some dollars down on me. Whatever. She says, it doesn't matter how silly it is, whatever, just do it. Go around, dance around the house, and sing your crazy song. So I said, okay, I'm going to do this. So I have no idea, but I would love to have, some money come my way. So I did that. And the next day, now this could be the angels just messing with, I don't know.
Okay.
The next day, I get this letter from my life insurance company,
Uh-huh.
and they had split and I guess made a lot of money in the sale. So they were distributing money to everybody that had a policy.
Okay.
I opened it up and there's a check for $1,700 and like $64.
Nice.
Now, here's the big question. If I hadn't done the song, would I not have got the
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? Because snail mail takes time. They sent the
right?
letter out before you did the dance.
And I did the dance and there was $1,700.
Right.
So
Divine timing.
maybe.
The angels knew you were going to do the dance ahead of time.
Maybe they just wanted to see me do a ridiculous dance before I got the check.
Maybe. This is for their entertainment.
Right.
Uh-huh.
But the thing that I got from that is like, don't have it preconceived.
Like how it's
Like
going
I
to
need
happen.
to win the lottery.
Like this is how I'm going to make a lot of money. I need to win the lottery.
Right.
Just be open to the possibility of anything.
I'm willing to work for it. This is what I want. These are what I need it for, and let's make it happen.
Uh-huh.
You can be a dive instructor and you could just be sitting in Todos Santos waiting to meet someone that will take you want you to take them for a dive, or you could be a dive instructor and be hired by a billionaire to go to the Red Sea for 2 months or something.
I mean, that's what happened to my friend.
Right.
Got hired to go on a super eco yacht to sail the Red Sea and dive for 5 months.
There you go.
So
If you just say, I want this to be incredible, I want it to be spectacular, I want it to happen soon, I'm going to go, I'm going to go put my cards out or something. You're going to do something. It involves some action.
mm-hmm.
Going to do positive action towards making your fated life work. And then you'll wind up being surprised.
And then being open to the possibilities when they come your way. And taking them
Yes.
when they come your way.
And choosing them, yes.
Mhm.
When I was doing readings, and it was always just in black and white, and I kept saying, boy, I really need better information. I need more information. And I kept saying this to my angels. And that's when I had that meditation. And that hand appeared and it gave me these books of color. And 3 days later, I could see the chakra colors.
Mm-hmm.
But it isn't like I was just walking down the street having a hot dog thinking about the ball game and suddenly I could see chakra colors. I had been working towards it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd been thinking about it. I've been asking for it. I've been visualizing that I needed something better. Wasn't exactly sure how that would work, but I knew I needed an upgrade. And now I just say to my angels, okay, my healing is pretty good, but I need an upgrade. I want it to be better.
It's pretty good, but we can do better.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be better.
Mm-hmm.
And so lately people are going, wow, I've never felt such a good healing before. And I say, well, of course, what kind of healer would I be if you couldn't feel it?
Uh-huh.
Even if you are in New York, I'm in Mexico. So now I'm saying to my angels, I want to be able to heal some of this stuff that people are dying from instantly.
Next, you're going to be like, I want them to see the healing as it happens.
Well, like I said, ask them for everything. If you ask them for everything and you be clear what you really want is important.
Mm-hmm.
Not what you want today and you're going to want something different tomorrow. The more you spend time thinking about it and planning it and meditating on it, you're going to come closer to what is your fate.
Mm-hmm.
There are times that things just happen in a weird way, and that probably is your fate. But I believe that you plan that out with your angels, probably in conversation before you came here.
Yeah, I mean, I was just talking to someone the other day, and it just seemed like her story was like, what are the chances that you would sit down at your best friend's wedding next to somebody that would change your life
There you go.
and stuff like that? And it's like, well, okay.
And some people, they have met their partner on the astral, like we were talking about,
Uh-huh.
in terms of that. There are also, there are people that, their family got killed, their wife or husband got killed, or something happened, and they'll say at that time, with my dying breath, if I can come back, I'm going to come back and I'm going to kill you.
What?
There are people that will like had something bad happen to them,
Sure.
and in that lifetime, they will say,
Yeah.
no matter what, if I can come back and kill you in your next lifetime, I'm going to do it.
Uh-huh.
And they have this vendetta or this agenda, and that's what's foremost in their mind. And they might wind up in this, very violent neighborhood and become violent and everything, and they've forgotten about this is what they intended, this is what they wanted to do. In Robert Monroe's book, he talked about this couple that had a kind of vendetta going, and he was able to track it for almost 3,000 years.
How do you track something like that?
Well, because he had this ability to move uh, in the astral through time and project and see where are they now, where are they now. And he said sometime around, I can't remember the exact, but it was something like 3,335, they finally decided to stop fighting.
In the future.
In the future, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So sometimes we have this agenda from another lifetime.
Do you think knowing that you're going to stop fighting in the future, like knowing your future makes you change what it is?
It can, and that's why I don't do predictions for people. Some people say to me, tell me what I'm supposed to do with my life. No, I'm not going to do that. That's not my job. It's your job to figure out what you want. And even if I saw a vision of somebody doing something,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't necessarily tell them.
Mm-hmm.
I think that when you have a vision, it's for you. It isn't necessarily for another person, even if there's another person in it. And if you do tell them, yes, they might alter the course of what they do, or they might not. Then they're going to blame you for having whatever happened happen.
Mm-hmm. Like they can either go, well, I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to make sure it doesn't happen, or they may go along the path just as planned.
Say that, yeah, that's just garbage, and I wouldn't believe that. And then it happens, and then they somehow think that it had to do with you.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a good thing and it doesn't happen, the person's going to be upset because it didn't happen. And if I told someone, well, you're gonna move to New York and you're gonna be sitting in a bar and someone is going to say, come be an actress, and you're gonna be on this medical show and make a fortune,
Mm-hmm.
like the star of that medical program.
There's so many of them.
Yeah, well, one of them, I can't remember the name of it right now, but at any rate, that's what actually happened to her.
Okay.
She had no acting experience, was literally in a bar having a drink, and they hired her, and she became incredibly rich and went on for, I don't know, so many seasons.
Grey's Anatomy?
Yes, Grey's Anatomy. There you go.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, Grey's Anatomy. So you just don't know. You just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I don't know what she was thinking, but maybe she was thinking, I really need a better job, something that, I could spend my life doing that I would enjoy. And there you go. It happened. So, I mean, some degree that sort of thing is like fate, or you could call it luck.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that deeply behind that is an intention
Mm-hmm.
and is some energy.
Mm-hmm.
The way things work in this physical universe, we form a thought pattern, we form a wish, and it goes out, kind of penetrates the universe and comes back.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of like you've rung the bell. So if you have an idea of what you want and you're working towards that, that's going to go out, penetrate the universe, come back, amplify, and land on you. So the clearer you are, the better chance you have of having that happen.
Mm-hmm.
And people say, well, I do that. But then in between, they say it would never happen anyway. I'm not good enough looking. I'm not, I'm not this, I'm not that. I'm depressed. Nothing ever really happens for me. And those thoughts they're also putting out there.
Yeah, so they're working against themselves.
They're working against themselves.
So think positive out there, dream big.
Dream big. Ask your angels for everything.
Everything.
Think of an angel like a computer program, like they are the computer, and you type in everything you want, it goes into the cloud.
Oh, I was thinking maybe something more like your Amazon cart. You put it in the cart and then it gets delivered to your house.
Well, you can do that too. But you have to put something in. You have to put out the questions. I had someone say yesterday, I never talk to my angels because I don't know how to talk to them.
Uh-huh.
That's sad.
Well, how do we talk to them?
Well, what I say, okay, this is great. This new healing thing you showed me is great. People are really liking it. Can we up it a little bit so that like if they have cancer or something, that goes away at the same time?
Uh-huh.
You know,
Let's do better.
let's do better. And I think that they see that my intention is, pure. This really is something I want. I want to help these people to heal. So they do. They change it up. All of a sudden, they'll show me something. So you make your own fate and you make your own luck.
So the more you're actively thinking about changing, making your life better, doing that, the more likely it's all going to continuously happen.
Yes. You'll have opportunities. You'll have opportunities, and then watch carefully for your opportunities and don't be too quick to say no, especially to the odd opportunity that you get a feeling, oh, maybe I should do this, and then don't let your mind talk you out of it.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
You ready to go change your life?
Oh, pretty good life, but it can always be better. It can always be better, angels.
Right.
I need that job that lets me sail around the Red Sea.
And meet the partner that you've always wanted to
And
meet.
yeah, still waiting.
Waiting won't work. You can maybe go to the Red Sea, you'll meet them there.
Something.
It's complex. It's complex. So you have to work on what you can do, what you can see. If you can see it,
Mm-hmm.
you can have it.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say, I can't even imagine having $100,000. Okay,
Then probably won't happen.
probably won't happen.
Okay.
Other people say, a million just isn't as much money as it used to be. I'm going to need more than one.
Yeah.
And they mean it.
Yeah.
So I've got a plan for that.
Yep.
You see it, say it, do it. Spiritually, some people say, I don't want to be a healer. I don't want to be a psychic. Okay,
You don't have to.
don't have to, but then don't be surprised if you're not seeing anything.
Mm-hmm.
I've been saying for years, I just want to see what's truth, the truth. I don't want to be deceived.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm willing to see whatever I'm supposed to see, and I only want to see the truth. I want clarity. And I say that over and over again. And then when I'm looking at something, I see it pretty accurately. Pretty simple, huh?
So simple, so complicated.
It is simple and complicated.
So if you are confused, have more questions, not sure what to do, call it in, talk to us, write to us.
And we won't tell you what to do, but
Sign up for the newsletter, chakracheckups.com. Sign up for the class.
which will be coming soon.
which will be coming soon. Probably
Coming
not
soon.
that soon. I think that will take some time to make. But we do have other events and things happening in the future, the short future. So keep up to date with us if you're at all interested in that.
Another commercial.
It's necessary.
Okay. I see, because you can see it that way.
It just, yes.
Yes, you can see it saying
Your mind might not work this way, but the rest of the world does.
Oh, all right.
If you want people to sign up for the class, we need to say that it's out there. So I'm saying that
Yes,
there's
exactly,
there's
right.
going to
Have
be
to do
things.
something, see
Right.
it there.
So,
Yes, okay.
do you have a problem with me saying it?
No.
Right. Until next time.
Okay.